Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're doing something really cool. We're building the ultimate sales playbook. We're taking the powerful and sometimes, clashing wisdom from three absolute titans of the field, Jordan Belfort, Chris Do, and Hilton Johnson, and we're going to fuse it all into one cohesive, actionable strategy that you can actually use.
All right, so here's our roadmap for today. We're going to follow the natural journey of a sale, right? Step by step, from getting your head in the right space all the way to that confident close. And at every single stage, we'll pull in the best gems from our experts to build this one unified, powerful system.
First things first, and this one's huge. We have to completely reframe what sales even is in today's world. You know that old image of the pushy, high-pressure car salesman? Yeah, that's completely dead. The modern approach, it starts somewhere totally different. It starts with your mindset.
And boom, this quote from Chris Do just nails it. He basically says that modern sales is service. Your goal isn't to ram a product down someone's throat, it's to put their needs ahead of your own. Like genuinely. When you actually focus on solving their problem instead of chasing your commission, the entire dynamic of the conversation it transforms.
Okay, so you've got that service mindset locked in. The conversation starts, and right here, this is where Jordan Belfort's strategy kicks in. Because according to him, the entire sale is pretty much won or lost in the first few seconds. Seriously.
You get 4 seconds. That's it. Just 4 seconds to plant 3 absolutely crucial ideas in your prospect's mind. And if you get this right, you earn the right to lead the whole conversation.
So in that tiny little window of time, here's what you got to establish. 1, that you're sharp as a tack, so you're not going to waste their time. 2, that you're enthusiastic as hell, which, makes them think, wow, this must be good. And 3, and this is the big one, that you're an expert in your field. And it's not about what you say, it's how you say it. It's all in your tone, your confidence. Think about it when you talk to a doctor. You just let them lead, right? That's the goal here. So, you've got their attention, you've earned the right to steer the ship. But hold on. Your job isn't to launch into your pitch. Not yet. Right now, you need to become a detective. Your whole mission is to find out what's really going on. Chris Do has this amazing way of framing it. He says, stop being a problem solver and start being a problem seeker. You know the old way, the amateur way? You hear a hint of a problem and you immediately pounce with, oh, I can fix that. The pro? They resist that urge. They lean in, and they ask smart, open-ended questions to truly understand the gap between where the client is right now and where they're desperately trying to go. And why does this work so well? Well, it's actually pretty simple when you think about it. An answer can just end a conversation. But a good question? That opens it right up. You're gathering crucial intel, you're building a real connection, and maybe most importantly, you're making the other person feel genuinely heard. And that right there, that's the bedrock of trust. All right, so you've done the detective work, you totally get their pain points, you know what they're aiming for. Now it's time to transition into your presentation. But listen, the goal here is not to just rattle off a bunch of features. Nope. The goal is to transfer a feeling, a very specific emotion. And this brings us right to Jordan Belfort's core philosophy. For him, sales, at its highest level, is simply the transference of emotion. And what's the one emotion you're trying to transfer? Certainty. Your prospect needs to go from feeling uncertain to feeling absolutely rock-solid certain about 3 key things. If they don't, they will never buy. And this is his famous 3-10s model. Before anyone buys anything, they have to be a perfect 10 out of 10 on 3 things. 1, the product or service itself. 2, you as a person they trust. And 3, the company behind it all. And here's the kicker. If any one of those drops to even a 9, the whole deal is dead in the water. Kaput. So how do you project all that certainty? Well, a huge piece of the puzzle comes from this killer advice from Chris Do. Never justify your price. You state it with total confidence, and then you stop talking. Seriously, the second you start rambling and trying to justify it, what are you really telling them? You're telling them you don't fully believe in your own value. And boom, all that certainty you just built, it evaporates. But let's be real, it's never a straight line, is it? So what happens when you ask for the sale and you get pushback? You get an objection. Now, this is the exact moment where most people freeze up or panic. But for a pro, this is where the fun begins. This is actually an opportunity. The way you handle this all comes down to how you think about objections. Let's look at how our experts see it, because this is so important.
Belfort calls them smokescreens for uncertainty. Christo reframes them as positive indicators of interest. I mean, if they weren't interested at all, why would they even bother objecting? And Hilton Johnson? He just sees them as a totally normal, predictable part of the dance. But you see the common thread here? An objection is not a no. It's a request for more information. And Hilton Johnson gives us this beautiful, simple, almost foolproof formula for it. It's called ACE. First, A is for agree. You start by agreeing with them to lower their defenses. Something like, you know what? I can totally appreciate that. Then C is for commit. You get a tiny commitment to just look at a solution. And finally, E is for easy exit. You take all the pressure off. Hey, just look it over. You can say yes or no, fair enough. It's not pushy, it's an invitation. It's brilliant.
And all of this leads us right here to the final step, the close. And here's the thing. If you've done all the previous steps right, if you've built that trust, found the real problem, transferred absolute certainty, and handled their concerns, well, the close isn't some big, scary, high-pressure moment. It should feel like the most obvious, natural next step.
Belfort has this great analogy. He says closing is like cracking a safe. You have to line up all 5 numbers in the combination perfectly. So what are they? You've got the 3 certainties we already covered, product, you, and company. Then number 4, you have to lower their action threshold. Make it feel super easy and low risk to say yes. And the final number? You amplify their pain threshold, just gently reminding them of the cost of doing nothing.
So why does all this matter? What's the big takeaway? When you blend these strategies, you're not creating some sneaky manipulative tactic. You're building a system that's structured, sure, but it's also deeply human. It's about ethically guiding people to a decision that is genuinely good for them. And that's a skill that's valuable in literally any profession. And we'll leave you with this one last thought from Jordan Belfort. It's a bit provocative, but man, is it powerful. It's a reminder that the toughest, most important sale you will ever make is often the one you make to yourself, overcoming those limiting stories you tell yourself about why you can't do something. Thanks for joining us.